Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tank Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo. I am your host, Chromoid, and today we're going to be witnessing the last Losers Bracket fight between the Losers Bracket champion, in my opinion, Char-Charodon and his team Not Nice, and the most recent newcomers to the Losers Bracket, Attack of the Clones by Nutterchap. Attack of the Clones was just sent here after losing their semifinals match against Morok's Knot of Toads, and they get to face off against Char-Charodon's team, who has been here ever since they lost their very first fight in the tournament to Arthur the Applique Man's Between the Hammer and the Blank team. Ever since then, Char-Charodon has been rampaging through Losers Bracket, even defeating Arthur himself when he was sent down here. And now they have a shot at going up to the finals, but first they have to beat the Attack of the Clones. So let's see who gets to go on to the finals in this last semifinals match. Now, Char-Charodon's team is nothing but cram, lots of cram, all the cram. And Nutterchap's team is a mix of APS and missiles, two very, very different styles. Also, keep an eye on that percentage for Attack of the Clones. You're going to see very quickly it goes from 100% to about 85%. Keep that in mind because that spawn stick of his is extremely expensive, but does not count towards the team's total health. A bit of an oversight on my part when I made the rules, but more or less we're going to add an automatic 15% to Nutterchap's tanks after the end of the match. Or sorry, a 13%. 13% loss. So yes, whatever they have at the end of this match, if both entries are still standing, you'll add 13% to that, and that will determine who the winner was. There was some confusion the last time I cast them, prior to the semifinals, where they actually beat Arthur the Applique Man's entry in their fight, but I declared Arthur's team as the winner because at the time I had forgotten that the spawn stick counts for a huge chunk of points for this particular team. I'm pretty sure Nutterchap just submitted it because heavy armor has a nice look and he wants something fancy, and everyone's spawn stick does not count towards their team total. But, was not fair to him. A bit of an oversight on my part to just allow whatever material to be made, and then I'm not going to punish somebody for taking advantage of that for aesthetics or whatever. Because in the end of the day, spawn sticks don't count. They don't have weapons. They don't have AI. They can't distract the targets, and they really they can't even shoot back, and they despawn after 10 seconds because they are counted as being AI dead from the start. They're just there to get the vehicles on the field. But enough talking about spawn sticks and all that boring crap. Let's watch these crams going flying everywhere. Nutterchap's tanks are fairly resilient, and they do fire a lot of missiles and some very powerful APS, but they also have a tendency to run backwards up these hills and get stuck, and that's what they've done yet again. And unfortunately for them, unlike other entries they have faced, Char-Charodon's team is not afraid of the hills at all. They have superior clearance. They can get up and over these ridges without getting stuck, as you see there. Oh no, a Nutterchap tank did exactly what it did in the last match against the Toads. This cost it the win last time as it was despawned by going too high. Thankfully, the rest of the tanks have not done this. It would seem they're content with staying below this ridgeline. That one tank just does not like to stay down, and I don't understand why. Now we got missiles and cannon fire pouring in to the big boys for Team Not Nice. One of the land cruisers taking a serious pummeling to the front. Even the land cruisers do not struggle with terrain at all, and their extremely elevated turrets actually gives them a very nice firing arc over most of the low terrain out here. So I'm really not sure. That's going to be a lot of cram fire. That is a lot of cram fire. 77%. This one clone getting shredded. And all the rude dudes are okay. One rude dude's down to 69%. So actually, right now, aside from that one DQ on Nutterchap's tanks, it looks like Nutterchap's clones are doing fairly well for themselves as long as they can keep their guns facing the opponent and not get stuck. That has been a problem for them in the past. They like to climb these hills and then they get stuck on the little changes in terrain because they're so low to the ground. Let's see if Char-Charodon's tanks are able to come out on top. This one rude dude seems to be kind of combat ineffective. I think that turret has been disabled, but the rest of them are quite fine as we see more turrets come screaming in. Oh no, one of the ruder dudes got flipped over. I think it got bumped by that rude dude. That's a huge loss. Even if it's still alive, that's 4 cram barrels that are not firing anymore, and this team lives and dies by the volume of cram that it can put out. Team Not Nice does have a problem where if they're allowed to fire freely for the entire 10 minutes, they run out of steam about the 1.5 to 2 minute mark. A little rude dude gonna go over and give its bigger brother a push, try to get it on its wheels again, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's got enough horsepower, nearly enough horsepower to move that giant land cruiser. Thankfully, this one's still up and active. It can still fire, and it lays down a withering barrage of cram. One kablam getting uncomfortably low there, 66%, and one rude dude at 62%. So somebody's getting pretty badly damaged here. Oh no. Oh no, that's not what you want to see. This rude dude, while trying to push the rooter dude, has gotten stuck and cannot go anywhere. It's going to keep firing through its teammate, and that's not helping anyone. A couple of these clones do have good shots on the underside of that rude dude. If they hit an exposed point, underside of a tank is not very well armored. They could eventually blow up the core or the ammunition inside without having to chew through that heavy frontal armor. That's the turret block exposed. That's an exposed turret block. That means the entire turret just went for that rooter dude. And yes, we see it down to 53.2%. That's going to be a despawn and a huge loss for Team Not Nice as the points trickle away. That puts them in a very decisive losing position against Attack of the Clones. Even if the Attack of the Clones are at a higher percentage, and they're not even at a higher percentage now. They're at 72.5%. I mean, I'm sorry. Team Not Nice is actually on the charts below Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is still at roughly 83% after you account for the loss of the spawn stick versus Team Not Nice's 70%. That's a pretty huge differential when you're in such a high stakes tournament and such a vicious competition. Now, if Team Not Nice can somehow manage to get the clones stuck, they could probably do some damage, especially if the clones get stuck in a position where they can't fire back. Team Not Nice does stay on the move and does not have trouble with terrain. Look at them leaping over the hills to get at each other. These guys are the epitome of the word eagerness. I love it. I love everything about this. Oh no. The clone scampered up the hill and decided to advance forward and has gotten itself kind of stuck. I think it's just trying to figure out what it wants to do with its life, but they are at the rear of it now. That's not healthy at all. We still only have one DQ for both of them. Oh no, two more going too high. The Nutterchap tanks, determined not to stay in this tournament, have run away back up the hill, somehow finding the horsepower to get up that slope, and they have disqualified themselves. That is unfortunate. That now puts Nutterchap in a very dicey position, although he's still at 63 after you account for the loss of the spawn stick, to Team Not Nice's 69%. But that's 69. That's a 6% difference. That could be all the difference in the world. We come down below 5 minutes, just below the halfway point, and there's still plenty of rude dudes willing and able to fight these clones as they chase yet another one backwards. Is this one also going to commit the same mistake of backing all the way up to the top of the hill? That would be really unfortunate. In fact, it would be in its best interest if it just got stuck here, so it can at least fire forward. Sorry, that's some janky camera movement by me right there. I can't talk. I'm getting kind of excited here. This is really cool stuff. I have not seen the clones lose this many tanks before. I don't think I've ever seen the clones lose this many tanks before. Maybe they have. I don't think they have. One of the rude dudes, I think, is wanting, in the interest of fairness, to toss itself up on the hill too. Don't do that. That's not healthy. Maybe it's wanting to give the Attack of the Clones a closer fight as this one sprints away again. For some reason, it now decides it wants to go forward. Oh man, there's just a brawl going. Oh no, another rude dude has been despawned. It's probably that one that was very low early on to begin with. Yeah, it's been taken out at last. A couple of clones. This one's just kind of stuck. It's finally scampering down the hill. It has gotten loose. It's able to roll. This is the most mobile I have seen the clones in this entire tournament. They usually don't do this well, I will admit. This one cram machine, the rooter dude, still putting in amazing work on the clones. The clones not looking very healthy, but the rude dudes and the rooter dudes not, well, a lot of the rude dudes are still at 100% or just there. The rooter dude, the big land cruiser, and another rude dude are pretty badly hurt. Honestly, the rooter dude is the best target here. If the clones can eliminate this land cruiser, that's a good chunk, not only the firepower gone out of Team Not Nice, but a good chunk of their hit points too. Oh man, Attack of the Clones. Oh, they're losing so much though. They're down to 62%. They're just above Team Not Nice. They really need to consolidate their lead by killing this land cruiser. They're doing a good job. They do tend to run out of missiles, as we've seen at about the 2-minute mark. But then again, Char-Charodon's entry does run out of ammunition about that time too, so... Oh, the land cruisers don't though. The land cruisers seem to have an infinite supply of ammunition. There's a misfire. I think one of the barrels has been too badly damaged. Uh, so he still has 3 functioning cram cannons out of the 4. If it can despawn another clone, that would be a big boon. Oh, and it did! That was enough. That tore apart that last clone. It must have killed the AI inside of it. Oh no, now Nutterchap is in a tight spot indeed. He's down to only 54%. They need that Land Cruiser gone. I don't know if they have the firepower to do it anymore, though. There's not enough missiles, and they're not targeting the ship, the Land Cruiser down. They're trying to kill, I think, this rude dude, which they might have done. It's gotten itself stuck and wedged. It can't move. Those shots are ricocheting everywhere. We see blocks sprinkling off of it from all directions, coming down to just at the 2-minute mark. The Rooter dude still fighting for all it's worth. The missile slamming into it. It's starting to get whittled down. The cannons are still functional. How many of these clones can it take out before it is taken out by mass missile volleys? Oh man, this is exciting. This is an even closer match than the Attack of the Clones versus the Knot of Toads. Whoever comes out of this will have earned their victory indeed. This Rooter dude, the Land Cruiser, getting taken down. It's now firing into its own teammate who's holding this clone in place, sacrificing itself potentially so that the Rooter dude can get as many shots on target as possible before it's inevitably eliminated by the firepower from the clones as they pour every last missile they have into it, trying to kill it. Down to 56, down to 56.1%. The Rude dudes scrambling back, trying their best to take out as many clones as they can before the timer runs out. We're down to just 1 minute, 20 seconds, and it is coming down to the wire here. Team Attack of the Clones at 55%, and Team Not Nice at 55.1%. This is some close stuff. 42.1. It is so close. Add 13% to that. Don't forget, because of the spawn stick. Oh man, I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it in the bag here. I think Nutterchap's repairs are gonna just outrun the amount of ammunition that Team Not Nice has brought to the table. It is such a close match. This rude dude really wants to shoot the tank in front of it, but I don't know that it has any more ammunition. All the tanks looking at each other. Oh, Nutterchap's clones are still fully armed. And they're repairing. They're repairing, which is actually putting them ahead now. They're at 55.6%. Team Not Nice is at 55 and stable. They're not moving anywhere. They're not getting enough damage done to them, but they're not losing any. They're not gaining any damage on the other team either. 15 seconds remaining. 15 seconds remaining as the Rooter dude puts a cramshell into a Rude dude here, cinching the win for Nutterchap at 54.8% to 45.8%, a mere 1% difference. That is going to do it. That will be the end of this fight. What a scrap that was. I don't think I've seen the clones had to fight that hard. Even in the Knot of Toads tournament, they did not get pushed this hard. They had an unlucky disqualification, and it was pretty much just a match of everyone kind of throwing shells at each other and out repairing it. But this was a brawl. Well done, both of you. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut you off here, Char-Charodon. Your entry fought hard, they fought well, but Attack of the Clones is going to come out on top with a 1% lead. Congratulations, Nutterchap. You're moving on to the finals, and you get to face Morark once again for the title of champion. Thank you both for participating. Thank you all for watching. I've been Chromoid, and I will see you guys in the finals.